Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Teresa Papachan from Adapt Immigration. Today, we're going to talk about the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program and the PR opportunities within it. So a little bit about myself. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I'm the founder and director of Adapt Immigration and Adapt Consultants. I've lived and studied in Australia, worked in the education field for more than 15 years, and I've lived in Australia here, now settled in Canada, and I'm from India. So a little bit about Adapt before we go into this big presentation about the Ontario nomination program. We work hand in hand for giving you the highest quality of service. We have planned and researched on how best we can give you a good quality service for all your immigration needs. And Adapt Consultants does deal with education. So if you would like admission into several colleges and universities in Canada, we can help you with that. We also do education for Australia and other countries, New Zealand and other countries as well, via Adapt Consultants. For Adapt Immigration, we deal with Canadian immigration, and we will help you in your immigration journey from start to finish. So how does Adapt Consultants and Adapt Immigration work hand in hand? If you get an application and an offer letter from a university through us, Adapt Immigration will step in where we will do your study permit for you. So how do we help with your PR application? The first step we do is always a consultation. So we do a pre-assessment, and then you would do a consultation with me. And then our document specialist will help you, guide you through all of the documents, several documents and forms that you need to fill out. And she will approve it if the documents are okay. And then we would create your express entry profile. And we actually submit your PR application. So how does Adapt Comprehensive Program work? We get to hold you from start till the end. So from the time you come to us for consultation till the PR, till we actually go through the citizenship, the last end of your immigration journey, we go through everything. So we hold your hand from start to finish. That's what Adapt Comprehensive Program is. And this is how we help you. So that's enough about us. Let's get into the topic for today. It's the Ontario nomination program. A lot of people have asked questions about what is the Ontario nomination, because it's a huge topic and there are many streams within this Ontario nomination program. But today we're going through a brief so you have an understanding of what all the streams are and a basic general requirement. But if you would like more individual assessment, please contact us. So in the Ontario nomination program, there are two streams. One is the expression of interest stream, and the other one is the express entry stream. So the expression of interest is where you actually express your interest to the Ontario province to submit your application to intend to live in that province. Or the express entry stream is you have a profile already in the express entry system, and Ontario nominates you based on your occupation and your work experience and education. We're also having a few question and answers and a sample profile after then, and you will have an opportunity to ask questions in the end too. So let's dive into this. Provincial nomination program, it is by itself is not a PR program. So just with a nomination, you cannot get PR. So PNP is for someone who for workers who have skills, education, and work experience that contribute to a specific province in Canada and want to live there and want to become permanent residents of Canada. Each province and territory has its own streams. So we did this last time we went through a brief on our last webinar on all the streams that are available for temporary residents in Canada to become permanent residents. But each of these provinces have their own individual streams and have their own eligibility requirements. This is it can be for students, business people, skilled workers, semi-skilled workers, and for foreign nationals. And why does everybody come for the Ontario nomination program or apply for a province? Is because you get 600 points in your express entry profile that boosts your CRS score in a way where you virtually could get picked up in the next draw. Ontario, like I said, has different streams. So the main two streams that the way it is divided is the expression of interest stream and express entry stream. So let's talk about the expression of interest stream. So when you express your interest, that is, submit an application on the Ontario nomination portal, it is then further divided to two categories. One is the job offer in Ontario, or the one that has a master's or PhD in Ontario. Okay, so if you have a master's or PhD from an Ontario university, you don't need a job offer. Or the one when you have a job offer from an employer based in Ontario, you can apply through that stream as well. So if you have a job offer here in Ontario, the job offer needs to be full-time and permanent from the Ontario employer. The job offer also needs to meet higher than the median wage level for that NOC code. Position must be offered urgently. Position must be urgently necessary to the employer, and it has to be based in Ontario. So if the job offer is for a regulated license, you need to get that license mandatorily. This stream can be applied within and outside Canada. So even if you are outside Canada and you manage to get a job offer in Ontario, you'll be able to apply through this stream. Under this, there are three substreams. So the first one is the foreign worker stream. The other one is an international student stream. And then we have the in-demand skill stream. So for the foreign worker stream, you need to have, of course, you need a job offer in Ontario, and you need to be under the tier category of 0, 1, 2, or 3. And the international student stream, which most often is more popular because students who come here as an international student, they tend to apply for this stream with a job offer. So you need to have a job offer in tier category 0, 1, 2, or 3. You must have an education from an eligible Canadian institution. So an undergraduate degree or diploma of 2 years full-time. All undergraduate degrees or diploma will be 2 years. At least an undergraduate degree will be for 2 years. Graduate diploma or graduate degree or diploma for at least 1 year. A college graduate certificate of at least 1 year full-time from an eligible Ontario institution, and a university graduate certificate of at least 1 year from an eligible Ontario institution. The job offer stream in the under the international stream recently added that you can apply after you complete a Ontario college graduate certificate. So it is effective from Jan 1st. This was a new addition into the stream. If you have a job offer in Ontario and you're applying the in-demand skill stream, you must have at least 9 months of cumulative work experience in Ontario. And you need to have CLB4 or higher and in English or French. And you need to have the job offer in the in-demand NOC code list that is listed in the Ontario website. This is an extensive, this is a snapshot, but you can go through this in the website. There are occupations here where you're a home support worker, a meat cutter, construction trades, machine tool operators, woodworking, mechanical assemblers. So this is a huge, it's not a very extensive list, but if you go through it, you need to have one of the in-demand occupations via these NOC codes in the website to be able to apply for the in-demand skill stream. If you have a master's or a PhD from an Ontario university, you must have completed 1 year of master degree from an eligible university in Ontario. You need to have a CLB 7 or higher in English or French, and you must have lived in Ontario for at least 1 year cumulatively in the past 2 years. So it should add up to 1 year that you've lived here in the last 2 years of stay. And if you have a PhD, you must have completed a PhD of at least 2 years from an eligible university in Ontario, and a CLB 7 or higher, just like the master's, and must have legally lived in Ontario for at least 1 year cumulatively in the past 2 years. You don't require a separate expression of interest submission because these streams are linked to the express entry. So Ontario conducts draws from express entry pool and quite often. And by considering all of these mentioned streams, the notification of interest is given to the selected candidate with an active entry express entry profile. So the candidates who receive the notice of interest into the express entry profile will now use the Ontario nomination portal to submit their nomination application. So I always suggest that you look for the Ontario. If you are staying here or if you do not have a job offer here, you look at the different categories that are here, and this is the focus of this presentation, to see if you fit into any of these streams with job offer, without, depending on your situation, and then put your application in the express entry pool regardless, because there are many ways that you could get picked up that you might not know by the province, or any province for that matter. So what's important is your work experience and your knock code to see which category you are, which tier category you are. And this presentation should give you a understanding of how you can go about that. So we have further divided in the human capital stream. This is the express entry stream where you do not require a job offer. This is quite popular because most people who are foreign nationals would be eligible to apply for the human capital stream that meet the minimum requirements that I'm going to say right now. But if you have a CRS score of 400 or higher, it is recommended that you have at least 400 or higher, because there was just one a draw that happened that was below this. So I don't think it's going to happen again. So everything has to be at least 400 or higher. And you have an express entry profile for the federal skilled worker program. You need to have at least 1 year of continuous paid experience within the last 5 years in the tier category of 0, 1, 2, or 3. For the CEC class, you have to have at least 1 year of cumulative paid experience within the last 3 years in the tier category 0, 1, 2, or 3. People from both within and outside Canada can apply. So you also need to have, just like all other programs, you need to have a CLB 7 or higher in English or French tests. You have a Canadian bachelor's or a master's or a PhD degree, or if you're applying from overseas, your qualification to be assessed by the ECA and given a report saying that it is equivalent to a master, to a bachelor's degree or master's, to a Canadian qualification. So what we do in ADAPT is once we have a profile for an express entry and they do not have enough points to be eligible for the express entry federal skill, we immediately look at the human capital stream to see if they qualify, and all other provincial nominations to see if you can qualify to get an additional 600 points. So this is one of the popular streams that we look at. In the human capital streams, or under it, there is another category called the OINP, another draw that happens that specifically targets tech draws. So they occasionally do the draws, and if you fall under the 6 tech occupations like a software engineer and designer, computer programmers, computer engineers, web designers, developers, database analysts, computer and information systems managers, you could be picked up in a or Ontario tech draw. So as long as you still meet their other requirements, of course. The skilled trade stream, you need to have a valid express entry. You have at least 1 year of cumulative paid work experience in the last 2 years. Must have experience in Ontario in the major groups, specifically 72, 73, 82, 83, and 93. This is excluding cooks, and must have a valid license or certificate in Ontario if your trade it's a regulatory trade. You must be living in Ontario and hold a valid work permit, and you have to have a CLB 5 or higher. This is for French-speaking skilled worker stream. You need to have a valid express entry, of course, and a federal skill. If you're applying under the federal skilled worker program, you need to have 1 year of continuous paid work experience in the last 5 years in the tier category 0, 1, 2, 3. CEC class is the same, but except in the last 3 years. People from within and outside Canada can apply and have a CLB 7. We recently had a client who was looking for a French-speaking category for Ontario, and they got a nomination for this. We're at the end of the provincial, the basic requirement of the provincial presentation, but let's look at some sample profiles, that how these points are categorized and how they would be, or in which direction that they can go for. So the first sample profile that we've created, or the only sample profile we've created, is for a PGWP holder who's completed a diploma here and who's in the Northern Ontario. So the job offer that she received in the tier category 1 is given her 10 points. And the job offer for a broad occupational category 2, it's given her another 10 points. And she's got $25 of wages, given her 6 points. And she has a valid PGWP that gives an additional 10 points. So the job tenure is less than 6 months, so she did not receive points for that. And the earning history, because she just started earning, is 0 points as well. Educational college diploma gives her 5 points, and because her field is in the STEM category, she gets 12 points. And because it's a Canadian education credential as well, she gets 5 points. And the language CLB 7 gives her 4 points. She probably has a French that gives her an additional 4 points as well. Okay, and because she's in Northern Ontario, she gets an additional 10 points. So totally she gets 77 points. And what can she do, or which way can she apply to? She can easily apply for the international student stream, and she needs to register in the expression of interest system that gives her that will give her a nomination, and she will receive her she may receive her invitation to apply. And with that, she applies to she can add it onto her express entry profile, which will boost her points 600 and above, and give her and put her in the best possible situation to be able to get an invitation from the express entry draw as well. So we're at the end of the presentation, and we'd like to open for questions if you have any. In the meantime, there are some frequently asked questions that come to me, and I've put it up here. When applying under the Ontario provincial nomination, am I able to bring my family to immigrate with me? Yes, you can bring your immediate family. Your immediate family is your spouse and your dependent children. As long as they meet their individual immigration requirements, like medicals and police clearance certificates, they will be able to apply with you. The second question is, once I'm nominated to the Ontario provincial nomination, does this guarantee my immigration and permanent residency in Canada, specifically in Ontario? The provincial nomination, it does not. So just the provincial nomination itself, getting an invitation will not guarantee the PR. You still have to apply for your express entry profile and apply federally. So getting a nomination puts you in a very, very good position to be able to be invited for an express entry, but that itself does not guarantee you permanent residency. Can I apply for the Ontario PNP if I reside outside of Canada? Will this affect my chances? Absolutely not. You can apply if you're outside of Canada as long as you meet all the requirements necessary. This has no effect on the chances. The only thing that we'll look for is your eligibility criteria, and if you meet them accurately, and if you meet them, you should have the same chance as anyone else. What is the average processing time? This is a very frequently asked question. So we've put up the processing time here. The Ontario French-speaking skilled worker takes about 90 to 120 days. The human capital stream is about 60 to 90 days. This is as of January 11th. So the Ontario Express Entry Skilled Trade takes about 120 to 150 days. The Master's Graduate Program takes about 30 to 60 days. PhD graduate, same. The Foreign Worker Program under the job offer category takes about 150 days, and the International Student category takes about 120 days, 90 to 120 days. And the in-demand skills is also about 120 to 150 days. So this gives you an idea on how long you have to take to prepare for your express entry profile. So if you take about 3 months for just the Ontario Provincial Nomination Program, you need to allocate time for the processing of your express entry profile and the preparation before that. So it has to be a considerable amount of time, and you need to strategically plan these timelines in order to have a successful application and effective work as well. So if there are no questions, we have upcoming webinars coming up about Australia. We have a question from Nepal saying that they're interested in PR. Please contact us and we can dive into your profile for an assessment and see where you will fit in the express entry category or in the provincial nomination category, and we can help you. One of our team members, especially a document specialist, will assess you and give you a report on which pathway will be helpful for you. We also have another question. I have a BE and Master's in Engineering. I have more than 10 years of experience working in my field in Nepal. Can I apply for PR? If you have a Master's in Engineering, if it looks like a computer science engineering, I'm not sure, but if you have a Master's in Engineering and you have met the English requirement and you have met the other criteria of work experience as well, you will be eligible for applying for PR. You just have to know that eligibility is different to the CRS score. So if your CRS score is lower, you need to know how you can get the support of a province to be able to boost your CRS score to better position yourself to get an invitation. Okay, please contact us and we'll help you. I'm an open work permit holder in New Brunswick. Can I move to Ontario to look for a job and apply for OINP? This depends. What status? What are you doing currently in New Brunswick? Are you a student? Yes, as long as you have a valid status, you can move. If you do get a job offer here, you would probably come under the job offer category, depending on what your background is, your education qualification, your work experience, and what occupation mainly are you nominating. You will be able to apply, but this is a longer assessment for someone with your background. But because you're already here is a good sign. It means that you probably either are a student or a worker, which could add your points. So please contact us and we can do an assessment for you to see which would be the best pathway for you. If there are more questions, I'm happy to answer. If not, please join us. We do this presentation quite frequently, and we always have questions and answers answered. So contact us via mail, and one of our dedicated specialists will contact you and give you an assessment. Umesh, please contact us, and I can help you with your PR. All we need is a resume and some information about you to be able to make this assessment. Okay, so if you book a consultation with us, and because all of you here have taken the first attempt of attending this webinar, we want to gift you a 45-minute free consultation with me. So if you book, you will get this link soon. If you book this consultation, you will be able to speak with me directly, and our document specialist will also give you a assessment report after this, so you can decide how to move forward. Okay, this will help you give you a more personalized answers depending on your background. So if any more questions, I can answer. If not, please use the link to book a consultation with me. Our consultations are usually charged, and it is compensated in your retainer agreements later once you take our services. But because you've all here and you're attending, we are giving you this free consultation. So please make use of it wisely, and get in touch with me, and we can talk further on your profile. Please also note we have an upcoming immigration webinar for Australia. This is specifically for people from Canada to Australia, and we're going to talk with our partner, Australian immigration partner, who's a licensed immigration there, a MARA agent based in Australia, and is going to be talking to you about how to immigrate from Canada if you're resident here, and with specific occupations as well. So please keep a note on that, and also keep us in all your socials, so you know when our next webinar is coming up, something specific to what you are looking at as well. So, and also please like and follow us for more updates on anything immigration related in Canada or in Australia. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm very happy to have virtually been able to give you this information. Please contact us for your webinar for all updates, and make use of the consultation link as well. Thank you. Have a great weekend.